Good morning, Eyesight Fit fam. Today, I'm going to be talking about habits and what you can do about them so that your morning routine, such as working out maybe at 5 o'clock in the morning, like some of our clients in Iron Sharpens Iron Fitness, won't be so much of a unpleasant experience, but it will be more enjoyable. However, this is going to be a 3-part series. So this part 1 is going to be defining what is a habit and what comes along with a habit. What is it? And how can we break it down so we can really understand how to form better habits and eliminate the bad ones. So, okay, there I am. I'm back. Okay, number 1. What is a habit anyway? Well, to say that we are creatures of habit, that's actually very true. The human being is more of a creature of habit. There is research that's been done, and they found that anywhere from 35 to 50% of our days are spent doing habitual behaviors or habits. I mean, it's our habit to brush our teeth, comb our hair, take a shower. That's a habit. And that's actually pretty good. 35 to 50% of our day is made up of these habits. However, we need to compartmentalize what are the bad habits and what are the good habits. So continue brushing your teeth and continue washing your hair and, combing your hair and putting on nice clean clothes. However, the bad habits, I believe you should compartmentalize them and really sit down and say, well, how can I change this? And then talk about, okay, well, so let's break down what is a habit, and let's break down the 3 parts of habits so that when you look at the bad habits, you'll be able to say, okay, I'm not going to do this, this, and this. And in turn, I will replace it with A, B, and C. Anyway, let's move on. So, the first characteristic of a habit is automaticity. What is automaticity? It's the ability for you to not have to think deeply. When you wake up, do you really have to put effort or think about having to brush your teeth? I mean, no, right? It's an automatic thing. When you wake up, wash your face, brush your teeth, it takes up less ability, less energy because it's automatic. You were taught to do that as a kid and you apply it in your life every single day as an adult. So habits that are automatic are not necessarily bad, but they're actually pretty good. That keeps you healthy. This isn't very, surprising when you consider that habits are activities that you repeat over and over. It's actually a good thing because this allows you to free up your mental space. This allows you to take your other energy, your other mental energy, and use it for things that are more important. So automaticity, that's part of a habit. So let's talk a little bit deeper about automaticity. The automatic behavior, again, is the ability to execute that action without the need for conscious guidance or monitoring or putting in more energy. It can actually be broken down into 2 other categories. 1, unconscious automaticity, which is again just getting up and brushing your teeth. And then 2, conscious automaticity. This is where behaviors require some sort of willpower to begin. But then they later switch on into autopilot after they complete. Like, for example, making coffee. It's an automatic thing that you do in the morning, but you have to think about it. You have to think about getting the coffee out of the cupboard. You have to get your mug or your cup or whatever, putting water. It's an automatic thing, but you still have to put in energy to get it done. So if we think about some common healthy habits here, we can see these 2 types of automaticities are put into play. In the case of drinking enough water, for example, some people are just quick and easy, grab the bottle of water and then they drink it. And it's a common thing that they do, and it's a mindless effort because it's the natural thing. They've made it into their habit. Other people, on the other hand, they have to label things. They have to make sure they have to have those fancy water bottle jugs or those gallon of water jugs, and they have to label, okay, drink more. All right, you're on a roll. Those things take willpower, and that's only because It's not become ingrained yet, but it's an automatic thing. The more they continue to do it, the more that they see themselves putting it into play, it becomes less of a willpower automaticity, but it becomes the unconscious automaticity. Those that go to the gym every day, for many people who have this habit, who go to the gym every day or work out at 5 o'clock in the morning, it runs through the conscious automaticity. A person who makes the conscious decision to go to the gym or work out at 5 o'clock in the morning has to put themselves into that routine. Getting up, getting dressed. They think about it, right? They have to drive, but it becomes automatic because they know their routine. They know exactly what to do. But they complete their task almost as if they're on autopilot. Meaning to say, once you work out, you just, Chris says, hey, do some squats. You know exactly what to do because you've done it already. It becomes automatic. Anyway, but why does this matter? Why am I talking about automaticity? Why is this important in building better habits? Number one, because without automaticity, healthy behaviors would require more energy and extreme willpower. And it would take up a lot of our mental energy as well, and it would be draining. And then it'll just prevent you from getting further and reaching your goals. Automaticity is what makes you function as a human being. Automaticity is what allows you to maximize your mental processing power. So the second characteristic of a habit is that a habit usually is performed without intense emotion. At first, this may seem like a bad thing, but really it's not. We're talking about, like, for instance, like when we're walking around and we're doing our habits, you don't have a lot of emotion that has to be placed into it. Which is, again, a really good thing because it takes away the ability for you to have to put a lot of mental energy. And for habits, then, when they become automatic and less emotions being placed into it, that allows you to continue the process. I know you're probably wondering, well, why am I doing this? Well, because I need you to realize that habits are these things. They are automatic and they have those emotions, less emotions placed into it, less of that intense emotion placed into it. It becomes mindless, really. And the last part is that context is very important. For example, what goes around that habit? What is the environment like? There's a certain cue that makes you initiate that habit. When you wake up in the morning, it's still dark. It's, you're still just starting your day. The cue is that I need to go, that's the cue, and I need to go get ready. So you get yourself ready. You brush your teeth, you change your clothes, you wash your hair, you take a bath. But what are the emotional cues or the habits that are keeping you from performing better? So this is where context is king. You need to realize what goes on around you. So for good habits, let's talk about those that work out at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's automatic, right? Because they know that they go there. They know that they're going to get a workout in and their body is used to it already. Why is it a habit? Why is it that some people are totally fine with waking up at 5 o'clock and getting a workout in? It's because, number two, characteristically, they don't have all of the emotions that are placed into it. It's just this, I'm going to get it done. But they know at the very end, there's a reward that when they work out, they don't know what they did before, during the workout. It's mindless effort, and it's mindless effort at that position. However, at the very end, they get that dopamine rush, the endorphins come in, and it makes them feel good. And they know that. And so that becomes that less emotional side. They just get the, I'm going to get that feel good sensation afterwards anyway. So it becomes that habit. And then the last thing is the context. they go to the gym or they wake up in the morning at 5 a.m. and they work out with people from the Iron Sharpens Iron group because they know that their friend is going to be there. It's the context. Chris is going to be there. There's accountability. There's community. It's that context that allows them to make this into a habit. So far we've answered the 3 things that are the characteristics about habits. Automaticity. Number 2, there's less emotion that's being placed into it, which frees us up to have more mental capabilities for other tasks that need to be done. And then number 3, the context of the habit is very important. What goes around you, your emotions, or your environment, the people that you talk to, that is important in building the habit that you have now. However, this is as far as I'm going to go, because I want to keep you tuned in, because I don't want to dish out it too much to bore you out. I want you to just realize that those are the 3 parts of a habit. Part 2 will be how to establish these habits. We will actually go down and talk about the different things of habit forming and how to break the habits that you may have right now that you know that they're not right, but you feel like it's taken control over your life and you don't want that anymore. So we'll go over that, and these are the 3 characteristics, and I hope that it has allowed you to see why habits form and how they have formed. Hey, Brandon. Good morning, Brandon. I hope things are going well with you. Comment below, Brandon. Let me know what habits you feel like you need to break and habits that you feel like you need to form. And tell me, what is the one habit that you know you cannot live without? And stay tuned for the second part of my series of habits. All right, guys, as always, make moves, not excuses.